And it's amazing. Now, one thing I request you to do is to share this live webcast that's going on right now. Share it on your timeline. Invite your friends and let them join us for the second Stop Molestation campaign, streaming from Bangalore, India. I'm Edmonds Owhorode, and with me in the studio.
Hello, I'm Joanna Owhorode, and we are on day 2 of Stop Molestation campaign.
Yes, it's a second Stop Molestation campaign that's coming online. Now, I'm monitoring everything. The number to call is right on the screen to share your comments. Now, before we take your call, I'd like to speak a little about education.
Yeah.
Educating the people about molestation. It's very, very important that we educate the people about molestation. And wherever you're listening from or watching from, now we're on three networks. We're on the social media, and we're on YouTube and Facebook. And if you have friends on Facebook, you invite them to participate in this webinar, second webinar, Stop Molestation webinar. And if you have friends on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that whenever we come on live, you can participate from wherever you are. And lastly, we are on a private radio, and that's TAN Radio, www.tanradio.net. So whenever we are here live, you can either listen to us over the radio, or you can watch us in these two networks, that's YouTube and Facebook. Now, this is exciting. I want to talk about educating the people. Yes, educating the people, how important it is for us to educate the people on stop molestation. See how important it is. You see, the protest is very important. First of all, I'll start with this. The last time we had this campaign, I gave the webinar. So for you to know more about the approach that we took concerning stopping molestation, you have to listen to that one, and that's the first webinar. This is the second webinar. We'll be making some very important announcement in this second webinar, because we have a plan to cover the states of India. And so next week we'll be featuring Karnataka.
Yes.
So
every week we're going on different
specific
states.
states.
So we are starting from Karnataka.
Yes. So next week, all Karnataka voice should come out, and maybe after next week, we will end the webinar. We will know what state is next. Probably Tamil Nadu will be next. So whatever the case is right now, for you to get the full concept of Stop Molestation campaign, you have to watch our first webinar, where I gave the introduction and why we are out doing the Stop Molestation campaign. Once more, I thank everyone who's participating already, who's watching. Share with your friends. Invite your friends to watch this. It's so important that they watch this and that their voice be heard. So we're talking about education. Educating the people.
In other words, we're bringing awareness.
Yes, educating the people, bringing the awareness of how to stop this atrocity, this thing that is like epidemics, this thing that's like a disease, to how to stop it, how to bring the awareness. You see, the protest is so important, that you protest, stop, don't rape, it's very important. And the governments and the authorities, they come to know that the citizens are affected by these maniacs. But you see, how much can we achieve by only protesting? We have to soon. Stop Molestation book will be released, and people can have information in their fingertips. So why am I thinking of releasing that book? Is because of educating the people, bringing the awareness to the people. And so we're going to start with the brochure. The brochure will give you the overview of our Stop Molestation campaign. So when you get the brochure, you'll be able to have the overview of our Stop Molestation campaign. So educating the people is so prime, it's so important that we bring awareness to this regard on how to educate the people. First, let's look at educating the people about a molester. someone who molests people? How do we get to know a molester? You see, the psychiatric word for a molester is pedophilia. Pedophilia is a medical condition that is making someone attracted to only pre-puberty or post-puberty children are just about to get into puberty or just past puberty.
Children under maturity.
Specific children who are just about to get into puberty or those who just passed puberty. So you look at the age between 7, 8, 9
to 12,
and 10.
13.
Yes, before they really get into real teenage. So this is a psychiatric condition. It is said that it's a psychiatric condition. But whatever the case is, it is something that is running within the man. Something that is working within the man. Could be a woman also. Because we've had cases where a girl molested another female, telling her to do this to her and do this to her and do this to her. Like that, if you have any situation like that, any condition like that, you get to understand that, first of all, these people have been studied by psychiatrists, and they know that this is a psychiatric condition. It's pedophilia. And so that's why we got the word for pedophiles. And that's why we call them pedophiles. These pedophiles are those who prey on little children and women. You see, the pedophiles. Now, how to understand these people? You see, they're very nice to children. They draw children close to themselves. And you say, oh, what nice uncle it is. No matter how nice someone is to a child or to children, you've got to watch them. So one of the things is that you've got to monitor your children. You've got to monitor your children. You've got to monitor your girls. You've got to monitor your boys. Now, you should be aware by now that no sex is free from molestation.
Being molested.
No sex is free. Male is not free, neither female is free. But we've seen now that mostly females are prey on porn. You see, the predators go after female. And what has happened to Asifa should be a constant inspiration and reminder to us that we should play with no principles to stop this molestation. We should not play with any principle. Every principle that we share in this campaign, or that you get some other way in some other campaign that is not even this campaign, you must put it to work. You don't overlook any principle at all. So you have to watch your children. One of the things you have to watch them. If you have to put a camera, hidden camera, is very necessary. You have to put it to watch them. Especially those of you who are working parents, who do not stay with their children, who put a babysitter or some nanny or somebody to take care of the child. You've got to watch. You cannot just trust them that they will do fine.
Now, considering what you said about a psychiatric condition or a mental condition of some men, some people have questioned as in how can this awareness that we are talking about, how can it really affect someone's mindset, and how can their mind make changes, and how can this thing really stop?
First of all, when you know that they've got this condition, so you can know the characteristics. When you have knowledge of this condition, that there is such a thing as pedophilia in psychiatric, in the psychiatric approach.
But does it mean that rape will happen only with psychiatric condition,
no,
or with even other kind of men under situations and circumstances?
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. It is not that it will only happen with those who have the psychiatric condition. But it's good for us to look at it from the very professional part, which is a condition in the brain. It's a condition in the mindset. Now, there are those who there is no pedophilia working. It is only them that is working. They have watched pornography. They have watched rape, abuse, and some clips and videos, and they are sexually aroused, and they are looking for a victim to exercise their sexual arousal on. So it's not hiding under the name or under the reason of pedophilia. No, it is not just a psychiatric condition. It's personal desires.
Yes, personal desires, because many of the time these molestations begin right from your homes.
Yes, this is very, very sensitive.
Where people are watching you, and they watch you grow, and opposite sex, and
they watch you mature, like we say pre-pubertal and post-pubertal. They watch you.
Yeah.
They watch you mature.
mature is also there, but there is also
Before maturity.
Any kind, either is male or male
Yes.
to female or male to male or female to female. Now there are all different kind of things going on.
Yes.
Molestation happening.
Yes.
It's just a matter of their feelings that they want to express it out on anyone.
Yes.
So, and it begins right from the homes. It starts right from the home.
Yes.
And beginning from an infant,
Yes.
a child,
Yes.
a woman or
Yes.
a man or
Yes.
anybody.
Yes.
It happens. So
Yes.
it's not just limited to a psychological condition.
No, it's not.
Though there is psychological, and also influences also influence people to do it.
Yes.
Because like as in a group of boys are growing, and someone may boast of what he is doing or what he is seeing and what he is discovering things about something, this kind of new things, you know, about sexual things and all
Very
that.
correct.
And they
Influence.
get exposed into pornography and this and that, and obviously they have influential circle where they will influence another friend, and that friend want to try, and when they want to try, sometimes the children that are there, maybe his own sister or a cousin or someone in the family, will become a prey,
Yes.
because the influence has been going on, or in their mind they've been thinking, and this happens by influence also. So there are very many factors where it is provoked to become a molester, and they begin to take advantage and they molest people.
These factors are very, very important, and they should be considered.
Yes.
Very importantly. Now, concerning the factor that you talk about, is not just a medical condition or psychiatric condition, very fine. But just that the people should be educated. That's why I use that word educated. You should know.
The more of when the molested ones always become prey, and there is one characteristic that is observed in many molested ones, and that characteristic is silence. That they are not able to speak, because it's, first of all, it's an embarrassing thing for them, and they are not able to speak it out, and they go through it. It happens between father, daughter, relationships,
Yes.
as in homes.
Yes.
And when it happens, they are not able to speak it out, and when they don't speak it out, this silence is what is slowly increasing this rapidly in
Yes.
the nation.
Now, before we get into, I have lots of files here. I can see from here, files are coming in. And wherever you're listening to, before we continue, wherever you're listening to, you can send, especially if you are listening from outside India. We're streaming Stop Molestation Campaign second webinar online from Bangalore, India. And so if you're watching this from outside India, you can send a voice note. You can send a voice note to the number +91 974 274 3406, right there on the screen. It's right there on the screen, right in front of us. You can send that voice note there. You can as well send a text message. So we're not only limited to only India. We can also receive voice notes and SMS messages from around the world. Now back to what we're talking about, education. I'm looking at education here. We've got now in schools, we only teach the children mathematics and many other principles. But you see, when they get molested, they can develop fear, and it can affect schooling environment. And a child who's so smart in studies become a prey and become...
I have a case where I got a text. I just got a text, and I have a case where this happened, and that was how they were affected.
Okay, so is it a voice note or a text
It's
message?
a text message.
Good. So
Should we go on with it, or
I'll just say a little point, and then you will start with
all
that.
right.
And the lines will be open for the callers to call.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, the education. We have to educate the children, we have to educate the parents, we have to educate the guardian. And through this kind of a campaign, we have to educate them. So see, before this case of Asifa, terrible atrocity against a child, not just one child, against the entire children of the nation, against the nation as a mother. One of our contributors, they said, India is seen as a mother India. And it's not just, Asifa's case is not just something against a family or against whatever anyone may think. It's against the nation.
yes,
Just as in any nation, if a child is molested like that, it's not just against the family, it's against that nation.
yes,
it is tarnishing that nation's image.
Yes.
So that's why we all must step out.
Because it's not just one case.
Yes.
There are repeatedly
It's
many
happening.
children.
Wherever you are, you cannot keep silent. If you are watching this and you do not invite your friends, you are keeping the next generation silence, and you are sponsoring the bondage of molestation.
Yeah.
You are continuing the cycle of molestation.
As we said earlier, and we have come to discover that silence will continue this.
Yes.
It's a silent killer.
Yes.
Because your silence of not speaking, in many cases we have discovered, in all the cases that we have received, we have come to notice that in many of the cases where they kept quiet, it kept on continuing and continuing,
Yes.
and it almost destroyed the girl's or the boy's life.
Mm-hmm. The first marriage they'll get into with the mindset of
Yes.
abuse,
It
sexual
starts
abuse.
to develop a total different mindset.
Yes.
It starts to develop either hatred towards the opposite sex or the molester or the sex, whoever the molester is, a male or a female. It starts to bring some kind of a mindset within them, and there's a war inside them, and they're not free to live a free life.
Very important.
Yeah.
But at this junction, I'd like to put in this. It affects their mindset.
Yes.
This is the most important aspect of this campaign.
So
Affecting the mindset.
then I
the
have
molested mindset is
Yeah.
affected.
Yeah.
The molester inflicts this affliction.
Yes.
And this affliction affects the mindset of the molested. Now understand this. When we come out for a campaign like this, we are uprooting
Yes.
the affected mindset
Yes.
and setting them free by breaking silence.
Yes. And some of them who are molested grow up to become a molester.
Yes, because
And
it's
they start
like
to
that.
do the same
When we
thing.
sow a corn, we get corn. We sow
Some
corn
resist
seed.
it and they hate it.
Yes.
Some they develop interest and they like
No,
it.
but it's always going to the extreme.
Yes.
Once you are silent about it, either you extremely hate sexual
Yes.
anything
Or you
about,
develop desire.
or you
towards it.
develop over desire.
In
So
our last
these
session, we
extremes.
had calls where we saw that people were developing interest
I'm
and some
playing like
started
that.
hating.
I'm playing the same way with the
Yes.
with other people.
Yes.
Playing the same way. So wherever you're listening from, I am calling you and I'm appealing. While we are here, increase the views, invite your friends and let them have their say.
Yeah.
The line is open as we conclude about education. So I target the mindset of people. I target the mindset. If you change the man's mind, you have changed his location, even though he's still in the physical same location. When a man's mind is changed, his location is actually changed. His opinion is actually changed. So whatever and wherever they are, they will be changed. It's not something about India
Yes.
or something about any other nation.
It's happening all over the world.
All over the world, all over the world, and let us have a say. Now it's becoming too rampant in India. Let's have a say, and God willing, we will be here every Sunday evening.
Yes.
We will be here and we will be speaking to you, and you will say, you will have your say. Next week, the entire webinar will be focused on Karnataka. So you prepare to tell parents, to tell guardians to speak about this. You know, people might be ashamed to speak about it if they've been a predator. If they've been a molester, they'll be feeling somewhat to speak about it.
Yes.
So whatever the case is, if you speak about it, then we believe that you have changed and you will not molest someone anymore. But if you keep quiet, we think that you are looking for opportunity to molest someone else, even though you've molested some people previously.
Yes.
So whatever the case is, everyone must come out and speak. Speak. Let your voice be heard. Have your say. Yes. Our first caller is calling for the day, and we want to accept the first caller. Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign. Where are you calling from?
Hi sir, this is Divya. I'm calling from Bangalore.
Bangalore.
One of my sister asked me to follow this and share a few stories. Before that, can I speak in Tamil? I'm really comfortable.
Yes, please. You speak in Tamil. Speak in Tamil and tell us your comments or contribution or experience, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. And first, I just wanted to share my one of my friend's experience. Her name is Samya. Actually, what happened is, அவங்க அப்பா வந்து பயங்கர ஆல்கஹால் அடிக்ட்.
Her father is an alcoholic addict.
ஒன்ஸ் அவங்க அம்மா வீட்டுல இல்லாதப்போ வந்து ஆக்சுவலி படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கும்போது அவங்க அப்பா வந்து குடிச்சிட்டு வந்திருக்காரு.
Dad drank and came home.
அப்போ வந்து டக்குனு அவருக்கு வந்து கான்சியஸ் இல்ல, எந்த ஒரு இதுவுமே இல்ல. டக்குனு என்ன பண்ணிட்டாரு, இந்த பொண்ணை பிடிச்சு கையை பிடிச்சு இழுத்து ஒரு மாதிரி ரஃபா பிஹேவ் பண்ணிட்டாரு அந்த பொண்ணுகிட்ட. And she started shouting, ஷவுட் பண்ணி பக்கத்து வீட்டுல இருந்து ஆள் வந்து அது ஒரு பெரிய இஷ்யூ ஆயிடுச்சு. From that moment அவங்க அப்பாட்ட வந்து அவ பேசவே விட்டுட்டா. இப்போ இது நடந்தது நாங்க 10th படிக்கும்போது. இப்போ அரௌண்ட் 10 years ஆச்சு. Still now அவங்க அப்பாட்ட அவ பேச மாட்டா.
The neighbors saw, and this caused a strife in the family. Until today the dad doesn't speak to her, she doesn't speak to him. 10
he
years.
realized his
It's been 10
mistake. அவங்க
years
அப்பா மிஸ்டேக் ரியலைஸ் பண்ணிட்டாரு. சுத்தமா அந்த ஆல்கஹால் விட்டுட்டாரு. பட் ஸ்டில் வந்து என்ன சொல்ல, அவனால அந்த இன்சிடென்ட் மறக்க முடியல. அவங்க அப்பாட்ட பேசவே
He
இல்ல.
stopped drinking and all that, but still now she is not able to come out of that incident.
This is it. So what do you have, my caller? Thank you. You are the first caller for today. Second webinar over the internet. Now, what do you have to say to the world? The entire world is listening to you. What do you have to say to the world?
சோ வந்து ஆல்கஹால் வந்து ரொம்ப என்ன சொல்ல, இப்போ இருக்க ஜெனரேஷன் வந்து ஆல்கஹால் என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னே தெரியல. அவங்களோட செல்ஃபே மறந்துட்டு ரொம்ப இந்த மாதிரி ஒத்தா பிஹேவ் பண்றாங்க.
Alcohol, they don't know what they are doing. They just forget themselves.
people வந்து ஆல்கஹால் கன்சியூம் பண்ணாம இருக்கணும். அண்ட் எனக்கு என்னோட பர்சனலா சஜஷன் ஒன்னு இருக்கு, அதையும் ஷேர் பண்ணனும்.
Suggestion she want to share. Yeah, go ahead and share.
எங்க அப்பா வந்து ஆக்சுவலி போலீஸ் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல இருக்காரு. அவர் வந்து சிபிசி ஏரியில இருக்கனால அவர் யூஸ்வலா நான் எங்கேயாவது வெளியே போனா அவருக்கு எனக்கு வந்து கொஞ்சம் டிப்ஸ்லாம் சொல்லுவாரு, எப்படி இருக்கணும், என்ன பண்ணணும் அந்த மாதிரி.
Because her dad is in police department, he tells her how to be. Are you talking about that same girl? Are you talking about that same girl?
Hello?
Are you speaking about the same case, or you're talking about your father now?
No. My father.
Okay.
I'm talking about my father. He used to say, இப்போ ஏதாவது ஒரு லேட் நைட்ல கேப் இல்ல ஆட்டோ ஏதோ ஏறேன் அப்படின்னா he asked me to call. Even போன்ல சார்ஜே இல்ல சுவிட்ச் ஆஃபா இருந்தா கூட சும்மா ஜஸ்ட் அந்த டிரைவருக்கு முன்னாடி மொபைல் எடுத்து ஒரு நம்பரை சும்மா டயல் பண்ணிட்டு he asked me to tell that cab number or driver number, ஆட்டோ நம்பர் வந்து, அப்பா நான் இந்த மாதிரி இந்த ஆட்டோல ஏறிட்டேன், இங்க ரீச் ஆயிருக்கேன், கிளம்பிட்டு இருக்கேன், இந்த மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டேன் அப்படின்னா அந்த டிரைவருக்கு ஒரு பயம் வந்துரும். ஓ சரி, he is coming to someone.
Okay, the dad
வந்து நம்ம கேர்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கணும்.
Just hold on please. The dad told her that when you enter into an auto for a lift or something, if it's late night, you just pick up your phone and call someone and just tell the auto number or the cab number, so that the driver will be aware that she has already informed someone concerning his.
Yes, that's a very important security tip. Thank you very much for that. Yes, tell us some more what you would like to advise the world and what tips you'd like to give to the world.
So please be எல்லாரும் கொஞ்சம் அவேரா இருங்க. லேட் நைட்லாம் மேக்ஸிமம் அவாய்ட் பண்ணுங்க. நம்ம எப்படி நடந்துக்கிறோமோ அதை பொறுத்து தான் நம்ம வந்து இதுல எல்லாத்தையும் வந்து நம்ம சேஃபா இருக்க முடியும். நம்மளோட செல்ஃப் அவேர்னஸ் ரொம்ப முக்கியம்.
Very correct. Very correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling Stop Molestation campaign. You can tell your friends to call in to give their comments and also experience as the case may be. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now, this is very important. We've been talking about this before, that females should stop going out late and stop taking lonely drives and lonely ways and lonely streets. As someone said in the previous, in the first webinar, there is no other option. Why is it? What if that's the only way that I will take? Do something about it. Your life is better than whatever you are thinking of. Why do you have to be a prayer and saying this is the reason why this is the reason why I was molested? You do something about it. Like someone very dear to us, I realized that the person is standing in a dark bus stop all alone, beautiful young girl standing in a dark bus stop all alone, keeping quiet and standing, and doesn't talk. He doesn't know how to even shout. You can press her here and there, you can't shout like that. So I'm telling them, why do you have to be like that? Why you have to show such foolishness?
Yes.
It is foolishness. It's the same thing the caller is saying now, that ladies,
not to
when you are in a cab late at night, you call somebody when you get the cab. I'm in the cab right now. The cab number, you can even say the cab number is so and so. Cab number is so and so. And in that would pose a security.
Yes.
Put some security. Thank you very much, dear caller. The number is open, and that's right there on the screen. You can call and give us your comments. You can call and give us your as well. So please go ahead, let the numbers come. Now, I want to get the text
Okay,
input.
I have a text here with someone shared, and she's sharing about her molestation with her, what her dad did to her. Okay, so she says that I was 11 years studying in 6th grade. After 6 months of my puberty, I gained lot of weight in my body and I was well developed. I used to look like someone who is in a high school. My father started to molest me, and in midnights. We had only a hall and a kitchen, a small house.
This is very important to speak about. Hold on. It's very important to speak about. Many people are keeping quiet, but you see the state of their home can tell me what they would have experienced. If you, your mom, your brothers and sisters are all living in one room, something would have happened.
Yes.
Tell me.
We had only a hall and a kitchen and didn't have any bedroom to lock up and sleep. In the midnight, we used to, she says that they get water and our mom has to go and fill the water. So when the mom leaves, at that time her dad comes close to her and begins to touch her body. When I used to get up every day, I had severe pain in my breast and I informed my mom about it the next morning. She told nothing is wrong, it's just a gastric.
No,
and that's a very wrong counsel.
Very, very wrong.
That a mother would give her daughter.
When the daughter says to the mother, this is what happened, and daddy did like this, or uncle whosoever did like this, and said no, it's just gastric, and trying to change the mind of the child is already in the fear and the torment of the experience.
Said one day I woke up to go to washroom. I saw my dad doing this to me again, and for 30 minutes I didn't know how to respond, and I acted as if I was sleeping without any movements. So I could not resist him in any way because I pretend that I was sleeping.
Being a dad, what will you say? First of all, you do not know what it means.
It's a shocking
you do not know what it, mostly at the first time, you don't know exactly what it means. Later on, you get to know what is going on. And you know, so, but you see, my advice in this particular area, scream, shout. You see, scream and shout. It's very, very important. When you do that, everybody wakes up.
Yes.
And we'll see which cockroach is moving here and there.
It was very horrible because I didn't understand what was happening to me. Why my dad was doing that to me. I told the next day to my mom that dad was doing this continuously, but she didn't take much stand for me. And she told me that it will never happen again. But after 1 month, it started again. I think she informed her husband and he stopped it. But after 1 month, it started again. And
at this time, was she married, informed her husband?
No. The mother has informed her husband, that is her dad. Okay. But after 1 month, it started again. And I was very sad, angry, frustrated, felt like I was the most ugliest thing on
When you
earth.
don't break silence, we have to repeat this. Molestation continues when you don't break silence.
It now began to change her personality. So I became angry, frustrated, felt like I was the most ugliest thing on earth. From distinction student, I became average student, because to escape from that molestation, I started pretending like I study the whole night till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Can you imagine how much fear this child would have been in?
Not sleep.
Torment, so much fear.
Yes.
Let's help our children and let's tell them to break the silence. Break the silence. If you are watching and you are not inviting your friends, you are not cooperating. You've got to let them speak.
Yes.
We've got to expose this thing. Especially next week we're looking at Karnataka. Karnataka will be on air on this Facebook page.
Yes.
Whole of Karnataka. So everyone in every corner of Karnataka, you have to mobilize them, encourage them to speak, because the webinar will carry Karnataka. Yes, read on, please.
Okay. So she began to pretend like she's studying books the whole night because she doesn't want to sleep until 5 a.m. And she said, my dad used to get up that time and get rid and...
We'll just pick this call.
Anti-suicide and success campaign.
Yes, caller, where are you calling from?
Hi, sir, and hi, ma'am. This is Priscilla. I have a question to be put forth.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us your question, please.
Yes, sir. Actually, in the recent few years, I have met lot of parents who have been overprotective concerning their children. Recently, I met a mother who told me that she dropped her daughter to the college. I think she goes to PUC after completing 10th in Karnataka. So she goes along with her, dropping her to the college, picking her up, and even the daughter told me that she is never comfortable in commuting alone to any place, even the nearby place also. So now the thing is, I have two questions. That is this practice healthy? Because here the daughter herself is not becoming bold. The parents are not giving an atmosphere where she can develop herself to be bold, and how will she stand and protect others? That is one question.
Okay.
And the second question I want to ask is, like, what is the eligible age or the right age for a child when the parents can give freedom to the children so that the children can conduct their own affairs by themselves, but at the same time,
so the children can contact their own
affairs, whatever, like where they are going. Every time they can't take parents everywhere and go, right?
Yes.
Parents cannot be protective to them.
Yes.
So parents need to keep an eye on the children so that they don't fall into any wrong activities or fall prey into some evil activities, like getting into the company of wrong friends or getting into the practice of watching pornography or something. They need to keep an eye, but at the same time they need to give freedom also. Otherwise, how the child will become bold, how she will be able to go outside the country or outside the state, and how she will be able to protect. So what is the right age? Because nowadays I see lot of my friends are overprotective. Even after the college also, they don't allow them to go anywhere. So is this a healthy practice? So first question is, like, is this a healthy practice? And second one is, what is the eligible age after which they need to give freedom to their children?
Thank you very much. And I want you to hold on the line, because probably as we answer it, you might have some other question might crop up. Now, Honey, are you going first? He says, first of all, overprotective, and following here and there. So what is the right thing to do? Is that okay? And then secondly, she said, at what age should we give self-jurisdiction to decide and do things by themselves? So the first question.
For everything, as a child is growing, there are certain things to be done in certain age. We cannot do what you do to a child to a mature girl or a boy, because that mentally also affects them, and they think about themselves that they are very immature. And you don't allow your own child to grow and be responsible for himself or herself. And there are times where your child will be left alone, and you cannot be gumming to your child always. Even when she is grown also, you can't always be together. So there are times, so we need to raise the children where they will be independent in their mind and sharp and wise and mature. So it's better you spend time with your child and impart that characteristic of boldness, handling things wisely.
In other words, training the child.
Yeah, you train the child in the right way. So the child will be responsible for himself or herself, and they will be able to stand strongly. So this spoon feeding, as in always going behind, dropping them to college, picking them, it is very strange. Some children don't even like it, and it more than protection, you are causing some other thing to affect their mindset, and it's not right. It's not totally right. There is certain age, to certain age you can take certain security measures, but not always that you be going behind. Even when the daughter is grown, you are not secured, and the fear, more than the child in fear, you are more scared about your daughter or son going to experience things in life, and you are not living a free life, neither you are allowing the child to live a free life. You are instilling fear in that child from the time the child is being raised from a young age itself, and the child will always tend to have fear, and they will keep going on like that. And also friends will mock at them. What is this? Always your mom is telling you, your dad is telling you, and things like that. So there is, for everything there is appropriate timing, and we need to follow that rightly and apply it.
In the principles of teaching a child to overcome bullying in school, one of the principles is that the child has to face the fear, the child has to face the situation, the child has to face the oppression. The same thing we can apply here? Like she said, is it healthy for the parents to always do that? It's
No,
not.
it's not healthy.
You train your child
Yeah.
to face bullies, in school. Some people are just unnecessarily hard. Probably they don't like
That's
it.
why the main important thing the tip that we can give is what we are doing right now, education.
Yes.
Not just giving education of college.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Now the thing is, the child, even if she wants to come out and be bold, the parents on how to change the mindset of the parents. Now,
The parents has to integrate, and the parents has to see programs like this and see other children. Now some people, they don't mind, they want their child to be like that, they want it like that, it is their child, but they are crippling the child instead of enabling the child. They're disabling the child's mind to think creatively and decide, and they think they're helping the child. Now I have to say this with great respect for my Indian family and my relationship with India, but in this culture here, people are raised on foam and pillows of emotional concern. They are not left to make decision by themselves. They are not raised to be strong. They are only just put like pets on pillows for parents to decide for them. So my observation from this part of the world, they've got to allow the children face the world. Now I'm not saying make your child a scapegoat for one molester out there, but I'm saying train up your child.
Yes.
You may tell your child from a distance. Don't let your child know that you are watching him or her. That's far better than when you go with your child, you disable their mind from thinking.
Yes.
They always depend on you to think for themselves. Now tell me, caller, what point you want to add?
the thing is, I tried to convince the mother. Almost I spoke to her for 20 to 25 minutes, but the mother kept on telling that her family, her husband will not allow, our family culture, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, everybody, they don't allow the girls to go outside. And now the girl wants to go and study in a foreign country also. I don't know how they are going to allow. So I really didn't know how to convince the parents.
There are some families, there are certain families that come for counseling where they have applied this thing, this principle of always telling the child, being overprotective, and we have seen the effect to the extent that those children are negatively affected when they grow up. And finally they are not able to stand for themselves, and they have seen that what they do is they go hayward, means they go wayward. They start to do things differently behind, because at the end in the classroom the child is alone with the friends and she or he can do anything, and they really, sometimes this kind of children, they tend to do things and try to go and discover things that parents always tell them not to do. If you keep forcing them somebody and tell don't do, it's, you know, it is something very big. They are themselves making it a very big issue, and the child wants to really find out what is big issue about
that,
and they want to go and try it, and they start to try it, and their friends, when they share, the friends are there to educate them. They will show them pornography, they will show them many things, but if the child is mature enough and you as parent, you educate your children, teaching them what is right, what is wrong, what is, how to handle life wisely, and when they are in that kind of a condition, they don't try to do that because they already know it, and they won't do. If you be overprotective, your child may go in any direction. You can even lose your child, and one day a very bad news will come of what activities your son or daughter may be going. I know there are many parents that are facing these challenges.
Now concerning your second question is at what age should we allow these children to self-jurisdict their affairs and to decide things that they should do, correct?
Yes, from what age?
Okay, now I can say this in my observation. I'm a young father. I can say this, that see, children, they mature not just by age but by their ability to assimilate and use information. So it might differ from one child to another, but let's look at the age where the nation places as a major. When you cross minor, let's take that age as a case in point. In most cases, I can tell you in my experience, in most cases these young ones mature before this age. For example, in Nigeria where I was grown, I was driving before I know how to drive before I got to the age of driving. So many other people around the world also, they may know how to drive before they get into the age of driving. You can tell that they're actually mature in their understanding, but they've not gotten to the age. So some of us, we've got to wait till we get to the age before we can acquire DL, a driver's license, before we can drive legally. Otherwise, all the driving that we can do is just around the corner. We cannot drive for the cops to see what we're doing, and we cannot get into the main roads. Just like that example, you can apply into this particular aspect of the decision making. Let's use the age that is set by the nation, the legal body of the nation. Let's use that age as a criteria of giving our children the right to decide certain things. And before we do that, we must have furnished them with the necessary information. You cannot give a child whom you have not trained to. Yes, you wanted to say something.
No, I'm just seconding your comments that whatever you are saying.
Yeah, we
correct.
cannot give to a child whom you have not trained and raised up in a way that he or she should be. You cannot say, okay, decide if to go with that boy or not. They don't know. You've got to train them, you've got to give them the information, and then they'll be able to decide in a couple of while. So you cannot say that this is the age, that is the age. Depends on your training. Now, I have seen children who are 9 and 10 years in the village. They are more smarter than 17 years old in the college. They're smarter. They go into they go into terrible places. They are very sensitive. They are very aware. It happened to be that Asifa's case is not like that because she's also from the countryside. Am I correct? She's also from the village side,
Yes,
right?
it's countryside.
Right?
But
She's also from the
so
country.
physically she would have been very weak, and she's so soft also. When you see her face, she's so cute. I don't think she would have been able to resist.
Okay, whatever the case may be. But you see, but I have seen children who are 10, 9 years old, they're almost smarter than children who are 16 years in the college. They're very smart. They can tell what's going on. They can tell when to go home. They can tell how to do what to do. Even they are very alert to even animals and the nature, etc. So as the case may be, let's stay with what the country calls a major age.
Okay.
Let's stay with that, and let's prepare our children and our youngsters to handle their situation themselves, and let's watch them do it in a very honorable way.
Parents are the one who know when their child is mature in mind. They know very well, and they know when to trust their child to go alone to take responsibility of himself or herself. They are the best to tell. We cannot actually fix a standard, but the standard would be as what nationally we believe the standard
major.
is accepted as you said, on their age factor. But apart from that, parents know the best about their children.
Yes.
If the parents gave them
Weakness,
that
strength.
freedom and taught them, trained them, raised them in the right way, they know exactly when their child, when their daughter or son are ready to be taking up their responsibility.
Thank you for these two beautiful questions that you've asked our caller, Priscilla. But then, what is the advice you have to tell the world? You are connected to the world on the platform of social media over YouTube and Facebook, as well as radio. What do you have to say to the world
I
on
just
stop
want to say
molestation?
that we should not apply the extreme in both the ends. We should not be neither overprotective and stop the children from restrict them from doing everything. At the same time, we should not give them more liberty also, so that in the age when they don't understand anything, they fall into some wrong things. So there should not be extremes on the both ends, and it should be in a controlled manner. And
Thank
after a
you.
certain age,
Thank you. Your contribution is taken, Miss Priscilla. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look out for our next campaign, and that's next Sunday, 6 p.m. And that's we're featuring Karnataka on air. So get your friends ready, all those who are in Karnataka, to speak for Karnataka's Stop Molestation campaign. Thank you for calling Stop Molestation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right, thank
Now the
you.
number is open wherever you are from. Please, you call that number. We have less time to stay on the studio.
Yeah,
Yes, you
and I
continue
would
this text.
continue how this girl got frustrated, and how she from distinction student became an average student because she wants to escape every night of that molestation. And she started to be awake till 5 a.m. in the morning, and in the morning when she goes to school, she begins to sleep in the class. She's not able to concentrate on studies, and that torment is really, it's very big. It really disturbs in all the ways.
Mentally, it affects so deep.
Yeah. So due to this lack of sleep, I started feeling drowsy in school and couldn't concentrate on studies. I started becoming very aggressive, angry person. I decided to take frustration on people who are weaker than me. It really molds, and the character of the person begins to change. And I became short-tempered, and I started eating too much because of that.
Eating disorder.
Yeah, eating disorder began.
See what multiple effect it causes on people.
I started eating too much because at that time I can show my anger on food. That's serious. And I started eating, and I gained more weight, and I came up to around 70 to 89 kgs.
That is serious.
A child, it's not even a high school student.
That is very, very serious. That is serious.
I started beating my sister at home because my father loved her so much, and I thought I would destroy everything my father loves, and I began to hate him.
You see, wherever you are listening from or wherever you're watching from, we say this to you.
Really
break
spoke
the
very
silence.
Serious things.
Break the silence and help people out of this. Just imagine if there was a campaign like this. You call in immediately,
Yes.
and we will give help
Yes.
to her. We'll send help to her, and we'll redeem her
Yes.
from that kind of
Then
situation.
she says, I went to an extent of killing my sister by pressing pillow on her face while she was sleeping. I disrespected my mom, and I hated her because she didn't stand for me. It remained a scar for me all my life. And my uncle, this is her other experience. And my uncle, who is my mother's brother, started doing the same thing. He used to take me to amusement parks and told me to sit on his lap. During rides, he began to squeeze my breast hardly, and he took me from my house to my native in bus in the night time, means night journeys.
And that's quite a long
12
journey.
hours to reach my native. And whole night he used to grab me, squeeze me, pressed harder and harder, and I couldn't even breathe properly. By this time I was so used to it. I thought it was common, and it's of no use telling anyone in family. I underwent this almost till I was the age of 21. It's from 11 years to 21 years, 10 years of molestation in silence.
If you are listening and you are keeping quiet, now no one is excluded. I have men and women here. If you are listening and you are here and you are molested and you are not able to speak, whether you are here or you are there, or you are watching this again in the timeline, or someone shared this with you, and you're not able to share, you're not able to say, you are keeping the next generation silent, and then you are helping the cycle of molestation. Break the silence. You must say it. You must share it. We don't demand your identity. This person is sharing such terrible molestation.
Then after 10
how many years?
She's 10 years.
10 years of molestation. That's more
By
than a
two
degree
people,
program.
by two of them.
Now after that she becomes something else.
Yes.
She has to become something else.
I have the story here.
She will become something else. Which is not her. Is man-made. It is man who made her like that. It is human beings who made her like that. You want your children to be like that. You want your nephew to be like that. You want your niece to be like that. If you don't want them to be like that, you have to speak. You have to come out and speak and send the message and send your voice note to the number. Call the number on the screen and speak. And unveil these pedophiles, these people who...
I think in schools also we observe students, and as teachers we have to observe children.
Yes.
And when the student, there is a change in them suddenly in their education, or
Sleeping in the
their
class,
grades
just
and
like
sleeping
this.
and all these things, I think we need to really pay attention on them, and we need to talk to them.
Yes.
Someone needs to talk to them.
Unfortunately, most of the teachers, they are all towards
Anti-suicide
getting
and success
their
campaign incoming
targets
call.
met. Now there's a call coming in. This is Stop Molestation Campaign. Welcome online. What's your comment and where are you calling from? Hello, can you hear me? Dear caller?
Okay.
We missed
will
that
get
call.
back.
You can call back again. The line is
Get
open.
back. So,
Very important point
yeah.
you're giving. Dear caller, this is Stop Molestation Campaign. How can we get to know you, and where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Banaswadi in Bangalore.
Thank you very much. What's your comment, or what do you have to say for this campaign online?
Just can you just brief me on what the campaign is about? Is it
Yes,
just about
my
spreading
pleasure.
awareness?
Yes, my pleasure. Now, Stop Molestation Campaign was inspired by the climax of atrocity done to Asifa. Did you hear? Did you read or hear any story about Asifa?
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
The climax of atrocity done to that little girl pushed us out to start this campaign, and every Sunday evening, 6 p.m., we are online in Anti-Suicide and Success Campaign, Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Turn Radio. We are online telling the world, telling the entire India to speak out and break the silence and free next girls and boys from being molested by pedophiles and sexual maniacs. Do you want some more?
That's all I need to know.
Okay, now can you give us your comment, please, or your whatever advice or comment what you want to say, break the silence and tell the world, tell India online what you think about how do you think this can be achieved, and what is running in your mind, or if you have an experience you can share with us.
Being an Indian woman, like I've grown up in Calcutta and I've been in many parts of India, from Kerala, and it's difficult for anybody who is of the so-called weaker sex in the country and it's difficult, when you're traveling or when you're
Yes.
workspace,
Yes.
sometimes in your home also. Sometimes it might get difficult because of the kind of patriarchal society we are brought up in.
Correct.
And my case, personally, I've been molested a couple of times. In my childhood, I was molested, and when I was was close to being raped also.
What was your age, caller? What was your age that time?
I was around 9, from 8 or 9 years
This
old.
is always the age they prey on the young ones. Tell us some more.
Yes. So yes, that was one of the first times my parents let me go out to the shop on my own. They let my brother come along with me, and there was this guy who sort of took us into a lane with the excuse of his scooter being spoiled, and he wanted us to just hand over the key that he had dropped on the way. So we entered the lane with him, and he asked my brother to go and fetch stones while he tried repairing his scooter, and he asked me to help repair that scooter.
Yes.
And I was innocent then, I didn't know what
Obviously,
was happening.
yes.
And I was helping him out. While I was helping him out, he showed me photographs of some
Pornography?
naked woman, and and he was talking, and then he started feeling me up. So every time my brother would come back, he would send him back again, asking him to get a different stone. And when he would do that, he would sort of, feel me up, and I wouldn't understand. Like I was just started feeling like this man is bad, and I didn't know what.
Correct,
I was just very disgusted.
Correct.
So the fourth or fifth time, after my brother came back, so the last time when I sort of understood that it's not right, when he sort of put his hand into my underwear, and that was when I sort of froze, and when my brother came back, I somehow just managed to just break down. I didn't know what to tell him.
Yes.
And my brother had an idea that something is not right, and I was just telling him in Malayalam that this guy is bad, just let's go. I just sort of somehow I articulated something, I don't know what.
Yes.
And my brother immediately, he just told him that we're not, he just took me and we ran back home, and I just went home and cried.
Okay, you weren't able to speak to your mom?
Yeah, I told my mom, all I could tell them is that he was a kidnapper and he was trying to kidnap me, because that is the only idea that is given to us as children, that a stranger can kidnap you. That is as bad as it gets. So that was the only word I could use. Until date, I think that's all my mom knows. That there was some guy who tried to kidnap the two of us, and he managed to escape. But I was molested there. That later, I think I told my brother, and I spoke to him about it. My mom still does not know, and I have not really felt the need to tell her. And like, it obviously scarred me. And since then onwards, I have always been petrified with men who have a huge belly and a mustache.
This is so important. Slowly, my caller. This is so important point you are making right now. Let the whole world know. After that, you've been so petrified by men. We say during our webinar that when any molested, when they are molested, they seem to get the extreme hatred of what they are molested of. Can you tell us more about that petrification? You say you're being petrified by this. Can you tell us, please?
So then onwards, whenever I would spot any man on the road with a big belly and a mustache, I would just
remember.
I would remember that. There were times when I would just cry, and I wouldn't know why I'm feeling bad, why am I crying. I couldn't put words to all of that, but then it was just a very, like from inside I would get a very repulsive feel. And so much so that even my dad has a belly and a mustache. So there was this time when he was sitting in a bus, and because there have been instances that I've been groped in the bus, and that's become a common phenomenon, like so common that you sort of don't really register it as being, you know,
a molestation.
So even my dad was sitting with me one day in the bus. I somehow was not even feeling safe next to him, though he was not doing anything. It's just that general idea, or that it's just a flashback of incidents that come back, and you don't know why you're dealing. I mean, why is that happening? It's only after I've grown up, I have revisited those memories, and now I've been able to. I'm able to talk about it without breaking down. That is
Thank you so much that you did not keep it silent. What's your age now, caller?
I'm 24 now. I'll be turning
24. You are a woman of substance, and we give you a big hand of applause for opening your mouth and speaking in a country like India and in the state and in this Karnataka, speaking like this. You are among our callers. You are also a set of them who are making a difference, and we give you a very big hand of applause. And do you have something else you want to share with us, or you want to tell to the world and to the entire India?
All I would like to say to the, specifically to the men of India is, not just men actually, I would like to tell any household that raises up children to teach your boy how to respect another human being. It's not about a guy treating a girl right, it's just about respecting another human being right. There's so many instances of even boys being molested and raped.
Correct. I wanted to ask
you. It does not come out. It's just about teaching the basic value of respecting another person's, dignity, their own rights to consent, their rights to, you cannot invade anybody else's space. There's a certain space that's drawn up around everyone, and you have to know where to draw the line and how to treat another human being. It's just that simple.
Thank you very much. And do you have any friend or anyone who shared with you that they went through similar situation? Could be same sex. Now I can hear, just to pause your caller, I can hear calls coming in. Please do not feel tired of calling in. We're handling calls one after the other. When we're through with this caller, please let your call come in. Now back to what I was saying to you, caller. Are you on the line, please?
Yes, I am.
Yes, what I was saying, do you have anyone who have similar experience or something that is opposite but it is still molestation, like same sex? Do you have anyone who shared with you you'd like to share?
Well, my girlfriend is there. She was also, she was raped as a child when she was 3 years old.
3 years old.
And she suffers from PTSD, and she was raped multiple times when she was really young, and she was made raped again when she was a little older. I'm surrounded by people who are, even if not raped, they've been molested at some point in their lives.
Yes, for your information,
most of my friends have,
for your information, my dear caller, molestation includes rape and every sexual harassment. So molestation is not only the intention for any kind of touch or bad touch. Molestation includes rape, for your information. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you want to say something more, please?
That's all I'd like to say.
Thank you very much for calling. Next week Sunday, hold on the line please. Next week Sunday, we're going to be here 6 p.m. and we are featuring Karnataka stopping molestation. So please, we want you to mobilize your friends also to be part of this. And those who are in Karnataka, we're featuring Karnataka online next week.
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling, caller. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, pick the next call, please. Cut and pick the next call. Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign Online. May I know you, please? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Bangalore. I am a doctor.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
I want to discuss something, one case history.
Okay.
I want to discuss with you.
Yeah, sure.
Please,
Go
doctor,
on.
tell us.
I know one patient, and her husband is a drunkard, and he used to torture her for everything. But he used to torture when he boost after boost. He has to. He is forcing her for sex.
Okay.
For that, he used to beat her and sometimes threaten with knife, sometimes with a knife or something.
How old is this woman or a girl?
She's a wife to those person.
Wife.
Tell me. Yes, tell us.
Yes. And then he makes so many injuries on her, and she used to come to me for the healing,
Okay.
for treatment.
Okay.
That time she revealed this history, and I used to advise her, you have to take bold steps, otherwise it will be going on repeating. At that time he came, for the fifth time she came with lots of injuries. And she complained to police also, but that fellow escaped on that day. Husband escaped, and after some time he came back, and again they started living together. But this is going on. What I suggest, sex or whatever may be, it should be come from with the wife's consent, not with torturing, molesting that lady.
Yes.
Yeah. In this case history, what you advise?
Oh, thank you very much, doctor. Thank you very much. First of all, before we answer your question, can you stay on the line, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, my advice to all who have been going through this, first of all, I'll go from the legal aspect.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the law, I was very shocked to find out that if a husband rapes a wife, it's not considered as a rape. In the law, I was very shocked to find that out. Okay, in the law, in the court of law. So I was very surprised. Now, when there is a law like that, it is very difficult to give another counsel that is different from the law.
But
so
when
the
they
only
file case as molestation or harassment.
the law says that if your husband rapes his wife, is not considered as a rape. The law says that. Okay, so if you file a case like that, it will not go in. It cannot be filed.
But there are cases that is taken in as harassment case or molestation.
Yes, but when it comes to do with husband and wife for sexual purposes, it's very difficult now. But this thing I would like to say is that she can get help from human rights organizations.
Some people can be maniacs, and he may have a wife and he can be treated that way. And we have to rescue that woman.
She has to take help from human rights organizations, because if she goes to the police station and report, they'll say it's a family thing. You go to be nice to your husband, that's all. If you want, you give him. You are married, right? They'll ask her. Then you do it. So you see, to the extent that we cannot give counsel against the law, but she can get help from the human rights organizations, and from this point also she can also help her husband by reorienting her husband, giving her husband a new orientation. Let her husband have friends that are different, so that there can be some different.
But she said that he drinks and
he does those acts and harassment, and that is quite an harassment, and the government hearing this, they have to do something about this case when a woman is harassed, like you said, dear caller, doctor, like you said, that is supposed to be by consent, truly supposed to be by self-consent, agreeing. And when she's not agreeing and she's forced, and to the extent that she's harassed with knives and weapons, and she has, does she have cuts on her body and bruises?
Yeah.
Yes.
She has cuts and bruises on her body.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that is
injuries, so many injuries.
that is harassment. That is harassment. The government has to see. The government has to see to it that they have to do something about it. I was very surprised when I saw that. Thank you, dear caller. What do you have? What's your final advice you have to say to the entire India and those watching right now, listening over the radio and watching over the internet? What advice you have to say to them?
Now, I expected the government to take very strong step, one, and very severe punishment to those who are doing this.
Okay.
Then only other people will come to know, and they will have the fear.
Thank you. Thank you very much, doctor, for taking out your time and calling Stop Molestation campaign. Thank you very much. The next caller, please. There's a call waiting in traffic there. Hello, this is Stop Molestation campaign. Where are you calling from? This is Stop Molestation campaign. Dear caller, where are you calling from? Oh, we lost that. I think you can call back again. Hello, this is Stop Molestation campaign.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. However the case may be, you could call. Hello, this is Stop Molestation campaign. Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
this is Stop Molestation campaign.
Hi,
Where?
sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
I'm calling from Bangalore.
Okay,
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
us. Tell us what is your comment or experience to stop molestation.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about an incident that has happened with my friend in my native, where both of her parents died. Her dad had died at an young age. Her mother died with a cancer when she was around 2021.
Okay.
She had elder sister, and her elder sister and her husband took her in their home. And the brother-in-law started molesting her.
Okay.
And whenever she used to take bath, he used to go stand in the bathroom, and all that things he used to do to her because he knew that there was no one to help her. And in North Karnataka, it is like, it's most common, like, brother-in-law or someone like who doesn't have a husband, widow, or parents, like, orphans and all. It's a common thing for there to molest. So, and once he raped her, and so she didn't have anyone to call me, and that time I was studying in my college. And I was also, we both are of the same age. And she called me and she told me that, and she told me, can you help me? And when I told her, why don't you go to police, she told that her brother-in-law is a very influential person, and the police doesn't listen to her case. So I helped her by getting her to Bangalore with one of my friends. I found her a home where they help these kinds of women who are like who are in need. They are sexually abused or something. We just took her to that home. And now she is married and she has a kid. It happened 5 to 6 years ago.
Okay.
And that girl was rescued through me from that this one.
Molestation.
And there was another friend who loved a guy, and that guy loved her only for the money sake because she's the only daughter and she has a lot of properties. And her mother was against, and she went against her parents' will and got married to that person. And that person, if she doesn't get money or something, it's very sad to tell that, he used to take the painting brush that because he's a painter, he paints the house. He takes the painting brush and inserts in her private until she gets, and it almost happened so many days.
when she comes home also, the parents and everyone just tell, stay here, but that person again brainwashes her, again tells her that I'm sorry, I will never repeat, and it happens. So many girls are caught in this kind of situation, and it is very sad to know that only some people are got help, and someone are not willing to leave their boyfriend because or a husband who is so aggressive and so harsh towards them.
Thank you very much, dear caller, for sharing these very important cases. You see how people. Thank you very much. Is there any other thing you would like to add?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to know that how can I counsel the second girl, because the first one is already married now. She is living a very happy life. But the second one is just because that person is emotionally blackmailing her. How can I get her out of that relationship or something? How can we counsel her?
First of all, when someone is not allowing you to allowing others to get them out of such predating and a relationship where they become victims, where they become molested a couple of times, they feel it is love, okay, because they love. If they're not willing, there is nothing you can do as much than just giving them the knowledge and waiting for them to respond. You can just give them the knowledge and wait for them to respond, because they have consent, they agree to it.
Yes.
They are not breaking off. They agree to it. So there is nothing you can do about this. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank
next Sunday is all the viewers. Next Sunday is our
state of Karnataka. We are reaching out.
Yes.
So everyone in Karnataka are given opportunity to speak. Call us and speak.
Karnataka Stop Molestation
Let us
Campaign.
hear your voice. Let your voice be heard.
Yes. So you make sure you prepare your friends. You prepare the people to come out from all the districts and cities of Karnataka and let their voice be heard.
There are comments on Facebook. Our Facebook friends who are watching us say, parents, don't trust your relatives blindly and keep your kids with them, especially if they are not saved.
Thank you very much. That's very useful.
Yes.
Very, very, very useful. Any other comments?
It's very important.
Any other comments? I can see one other comment. I said, parents, okay. There's another comment. So I appreciate the callers. It's so encouraging to the men and women. Thank you very much. Nice to be watching this video. This is Surya Prasad. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we have some voice notes before we go. Today we have some voice notes there. I have 3 voice notes. Okay, there's a call coming in.
Suicide and success.
This is Stop Molestation Campaign. Can we know where you are calling from and your experience and comments?
I'm Varghese Kumar from Bangalore. I'm just calling. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
One of my sister give this number to support.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you speak your comment or your experience, please?
I don't have any experience. I'm just supporting to this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to. What do you think we should do as a state and as a nation to reduce molestation or to stop it? Hello? Hello? Okay. The caller just called and said, my voice, I put in my voice. That's good.
That's good. Thank you very much for standing.
Yes.
Your voice is heard and it is important.
Thank you very much. So all those who are watching, it's your turn to call. Now we have voice notes there. Before we go, we still have a few minutes. We have voice notes there, and I have a voice note coming in by 6:14 p.m. You can check it up there, 6:14 p.m. There are 3 voice notes under that timing, 6:14 p.m. So I want to hear the first one. The first one is sent at 5:50 p.m. Play that voice note, please. I can hear it from here. The voice note came 6:14 p.m. and the particular voice note is on the timeline 5:50 p.m. On the voice note is written 5:50 p.m. It's 29 seconds, I think. All right, there's a second voice note there, 6:05 p.m. and it's 1 minute 25 seconds. And there's a third voice note there, 6:14 p.m., 2 minutes 43 seconds. You have 1 minute to check for these notes and play them accordingly. Now, wherever you're watching from, the number is on the screen. Call and let your voice be heard. Stop Molestation Campaign online by Anti-Suicide and Success Campaign.
Here is a comment they just sent on text. Dear sir, madam, when we were in standard 1, that's first standard 1, one of our male teacher used to put his hand into the private of some girls who were plumpy, and he used to do it often. But as we grew as children in school, those girls gained interest for such things, and they used to talk about it, what they saw, and they spoke about what they saw in their home, about their aunt and uncle who is married, and what they used to see in the movies. This is a comment that one of the viewers are watching, and they have sent it.
Yeah, that is very serious, because you said the children started to grow and get interested in
standard
that.
1.
And that's primary 1. That should be within 4 to 5, 6 years.
Yes.
And that's terrible. That's very, very terrible. Now, over there in the WhatsApp app, there are 2 WhatsApp apps on that phone. One has a yellow icon and one does not have a yellow icon. The yellow icon WhatsApp app, you open that WhatsApp app. On that app, there is a voice note that came 6:14 p.m. 6:14 p.m. And 3 voice notes are there. The first one arrived 5:50 p.m. and that voice note is 29 seconds. The second one is 6:05 p.m. and that voice note is 1 minute 25 seconds. And the third one is 6:14 p.m. and the voice note is 2 minutes 43 seconds. You have 1 minute to play it.
ஒரு பொண்ணு வேலைக்கு போனாலும் வீட்டில் இருந்தாலும் அந்த பொண்ணுக்கு பாதுகாப்பு இல்லை. ஏன்னா கவர்மெண்ட் சரியில்லை. ஒரு குழந்தைய அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்ணாக்கா தாம் புள்ளியோ அவங்க அக்கா தங்கச்சி அப்படி செய்வாங்களா? அது எப்படியாப்பட்ட கொடுமை? அவனுங்கள தூக்குல போடணும். இதுதான் என்னுடைய கருத்து.
Thank you very much for that voice note. Our dear participants who are sending these voice notes from around Bangalore City, thank you very much. The next voice note will be 6:05 p.m. and that's 1 minute 25 seconds. Play, please.
அதான் இந்த மாதிரி சொல்ல இந்த விஷயம் கேள்விப்பட்டதுக்கம்மா இந்த நான் ரெக்கார்டிங் பண்ணுறேன். எங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுங்க இதெல்லாம் சொன்னாங்க. ஆக்சுவலி எங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்டுங்களும் இதே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கிறானுங்க. நான் இல்லைன்னு சொல்ல, என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுங்களும் உண்மையாக சொன்னாங்க இதே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஆக்சுவலி எனக்கும் அந்த மைண்ட் செட் இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்குது. ஆனால் எதுக்குண்ணா நான் எனக்கும் என்னென்னா நான் ஏன் போனோம், எனக்குன்னு ஒரு ஒய்ஃப் வருவா, எனக்குன்னு ஒரு லவர் வருவா, நான் எனக்குன்னு ஒரு பார்ட்னர் இருக்கும்போது நான் அவங்க கூட இந்த மாதிரி இருந்துக்கலாம்ல. ஆக்சுவலி என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுங்களும் போகிறாங்க, உண்மையாக தான் நான் உண்மையாக சொல்கிறேன். என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுங்களும் போகிறாங்க. போகும்போது வேணாம் தான் நான் சொல்கிறேன். அது அவனோட மைண்ட் செட் இப்படின்னு தெரியல. ஆனால் அது தப்பு எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு. அது வேஸ்ட்டு தான். அது போகுது எங்கே போனாலும் எல்லாருக்கிட்டையும் போனாலும் எது வந்தாலும் எல்லாமே ஒன்று தான் கிடைக்க போகுது கடைசியில். அது உங்களுக்கும் நீங்களும் உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸுக்கிட்ட எல்லாம் சொல்லுங்கள், வேணாம் போ வேணாம், அதை ஸ்டாப் பண்ண சொல்லுங்கள். ஏன்னா நமக்குன்னு ஒரு லைஃப் போடணும், கடவுள் நல்லா கொடுப்பாரு, நல்லவங்களாவே இருப்பாங்க. நீ ஒருத்தங்கிட்ட போகிறது, நீ ஒரு பொண்ணுக்கிட்ட எதுவுமே பண்ணுறதுனால அது எல்லாமே தப்பு தான் தெரிஞ்சு. அது கொஞ்சம் நிறுத்திக்கலாம். அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்துக்குங்க. ரொம்ப டைம்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் இதுமாரி இல்லாமல் நடந்துங்க. நம்ம சுற்றி இருக்கிறவங்க நம்மளை தான் ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணணும். மெயினாக கேர்ள்ஸ் நம்ம தான் ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணணும். பாய்ஸுங்கெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்ட்ராங், அதுக்கு தான் ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருக்கிறோம். உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் அதெல்லாம், நான் சொல்லி தெரியணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துக்குங்க.
Watch yourself. Thank you.
Wow,
very much.
I want to thank. I'm putting my hands together.
First, comment.
I want to thank this caller. I don't know this voice note. I do not know exactly what his name is. Did he say his name at the beginning? No. I want to thank you very much. You are a bold man. We'll give you a hand of applause from the studio here. And I'm telling you, you are bold enough to tell that you would have molested people as a result of friends' influence. Today I was discussing. I'm a speaker. I'm an international speaker. And today I was discussing how my friends influenced me also to have a girlfriend, and how I learned from that, and how I became what I am today. So so we are bold enough to recognize that where we were influenced wrongly, we are bold enough to recognize where we are right now and how we're influencing people now in the right path. I thank you very much. Your comment is so important and so unique, and we appreciate you being frank. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How amazing that is.
Yes, to speak out.
He said, my friends are making me to go and touch the girl here, go and do this to the girl. And he said, but I controlled myself, and we should tell those
just do it.
Not to do these molesting actions on. That is quite bold. Real men will step out and say this. The next voice note will be 6:14 p.m. and that's 2 minutes 43 seconds. Play, please.
Hi, sir. Thank you for starting this Stop Molestation program. Today, just want to break out certain things and want to speak. Actually, I was a person who was sexually abused when I was a very, very, very young child, maybe 4 or 6, 7 years maybe, and I was struggling with this. And what I did was, when I was crying bitterly, my mom came to me and she asked me, why are you crying? I told her what happened, and she took a step to stop this sexual abuse which happened to me, and she said she did the necessary action. What I want to tell is to the parents, don't send your children alone. In my family, my parents left me alone. They went out somewhere. So that was the time where I became a victim, and it was like that. And this is what I want to tell to the parents. Don't leave your children alone. Be conscious. When your child is crying, go and ask her why she's crying, what happened. If parents are not broad-minded, the child will not open his or her mouth to speak. The other thing what I want to speak is, there was a time in my young age, as a young teenager, I was very shy and reserved. Whenever any man, touches me or try to abuse, in the bus, in the car, or wherever I travel. But there came a situation where I have to speak. So what I did, when a man tries to misbehave with me, in the bus or whatsoever, I shout on him and I speak straightforward, to the extent he will move to another place or he'll get on in the bus and he will take another bus. So what I want to tell is, women have to be bold, speak out. And I'm not ashamed of what I'm speaking now, and I'm able to speak today public and open because I'm delivered, I'm free. I'm no more that kind of a woman who's very shy. I'm bold and better, and I'm ready to speak wherever I want it, wherever to the public, to strengthen the people, and I'm not ashamed of anything, and I'm restored, I'm back, and I'm fine. So I want to tell to the people who have been sexually abused in the young age, you can stand as a support for others. Don't give up on yourself. Be bold as a woman and be always a support to others. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. You are doing wonderful things in this campaign. Thank you, dear caller.
Yeah, there's a comment on Facebook. He said, can you please complete the story of a girl who sent the text message?
Okay, complete the story.
We were on the text. Okay, all right. So I think it stopped after 10 years of abuse. It stopped because they moved to another house that had a bedroom. So she could lock up herself, she could lock the door, and her dad could not come into the room, and she never had that issues after that because she avoided by herself, keeping herself away from that. So she said, it's very hard for me to trust him now, though I'm married and I'm crossed 30 years of age.
It's very intimidating and it's very terrible. While we comment on this, I just want to make the operator know that there are certain voice notes previously that wasn't played. I think it was lined up now.
Yes, it is there.
Good, so put it on the line and we're going to take those voice notes before we go. It's very terrible to find out that one cannot trust her parent, male or female, and then it's terrible to know that It's terrible to know that. So wherever you're watching from, the line is open, the number is on the screen. Call the number, let your voice be heard, break the silence, and speak about the molesters and those who have molested you. Do not be shy. So long as you feel shy and you keep your mouth quiet, you are going to remain in bondage, and you are going to keep the next generation in bondage. Call the numbers on the screen. If you're watching internationally, you can send a voice note through WhatsApp to the same number. Now let's play one of those voice notes that we did not play in the last program.
Hi, this is Nitina, Priscilla sister's friend. I just wanted to say only one thing, that after seeing all these incidents which is happening recently, not only recently, from the time when all these started, we can say.
Okay, we'll receive this call. Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign. Please, where are you calling from?
Hello.
All right, continue the voice note. The caller will call and we will pick it.
Word.
Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign.
My name is Surya. I'm from Velur.
Okay. Can you give us your comments or experience on this Stop Molestation Campaign, please?
Yeah, can I speak Tamil?
Yeah,
yes, please. You are free. Any language.
Oh, okay. First, பசங்க தப்பான வழிக்கு போறாங்கன்னா parents அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்குற rights.
If the children are going in the wrong way, the parents that give the rights to children.
Go on.
அவங்களுக்கு பசங்களுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இது தப்பு இது சரின்னு நிறைய பேரண்ட்ஸ் கத்துத்தரம் விட்டுறாங்க.
Parents.
Apana, go on.
Can you little louder, please?
A little louder.
பசங்களுக்கு பேரண்ட்ஸ் வந்து இது தப்பு இது சரி இது செஞ்சா கரெக்ட் இது செஞ்சா தப்புன்னு நிறைய பேர் சொல்லி தராம விட்டுறாங்க.
What is right, what is wrong, but they don't teach that.
Correct.
அதனால பசங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, அவங்களுக்கு தோன்ற அந்த மைண்ட் செட்ல போறாங்க, அது அவங்களுக்கு கரெக்ட்னு நினைச்சு அவங்க போறாங்க. ஆனா அது தப்பா முடியுது.
It is right and they go in their own way, finally it ends up in the wrong way. Yeah.
எனக்கும் ஃப்ரெண்டோட சிஸ்டரோட ஒரு அவங்க என்கிட்ட மட்டும் ஷேர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அவங்களுக்கான எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்.
Even a sister has shared with me her incident.
அவங்களோட கசினே அவங்க ஆல்கஹால் ட்ரிங்க்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அவங்க கிட்ட தப்பா நடந்திருக்காங்க. அது வந்து அவங்க என்கிட்ட மட்டும் ஷேர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க.
They shared that her cousin drank alcohol and misbehaved with the girl. Okay.
இந்த வேர்ல்டுல எதனால ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பசங்க கெட்டு போறாங்கன்னு நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க?
Why do children get spoiled? What do you think? He's asking us.
Well, it's not about what I think, it's about what people take advantage of. People take advantage of a child because the child does not know. In Tamil, the people take advantage of a child because the child does not know.
குழந்தைகளுக்கு தெரியல, அதனால தான் ஜனங்க அவங்க மேல ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் எடுக்கறாங்க.
Yes, so that's why, because no knowledge, should they take advantage of the child.
குழந்தைகளுக்கு தெரியல, they are innocent.
Yes.
So they take advantage.
அது நிறைய பேர் கத்து தராமலே விட்டுறாங்க இல்லீங்களா?
Yeah. So parents are not teaching the children.
Correct. You are correct. What you are correct. That's why we are here, and that's why you are there speaking this.
In the beginning of the program, we actually discussed about this root cause where
education.
We are not educating the children.
Awareness.
And that is the main cause, and it also makes the child keep quiet because they don't have understanding of what is going on.
Yes.
So the input that you gave is very
important.
Correct. It is very important.
Keep speaking, please.
சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல அதான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் கொஞ்சம் நிறைய விஷயங்கள பாய்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்காங்க. சோ அதனால கேர்ள்ஸ்க்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணலாம்னு நான் பாய்ஸ் கிட்ட சொல்ல நினைக்கிறேன்.
In something boys are stronger, girls we have to support them. Thank you very much. Yes, it's very true.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this comment.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you for calling, and thank you very much. The number is open. It's right there. We still have the concluding minutes. We'll still take your call. Now keep the voice note playing, please. It's interesting.
So back. It's been a rape culture itself developed in India. So I just need to ask only one thing. When is the right time for the girl, unfortunately born in India, has a time to see sunlight? That's all. Nothing else.
I can feel.
It's frustrated and
it's frustrated.
Irritated by all this. Just had this much to say.
I can feel your pain. In the first webinar we ever had, Stop Molestation Campaign, you need to watch it. You will know that I feel your pain. Don't worry. Just a matter of time. It will not be unfortunate.
That's
some
why
years
we have
ago,
to do something. And
some years ago, I would like to say this,
yes.
honey. Some years ago, Martin Luther King used to say on the streets of America while he's going on his campaign, he says, I have a dream that one day the blacks and the white will live as one people. And they laughed at him. It's not going to happen. Nothing like that. But today, not only blacks and white, they say black and white, okay? I don't like that terminology, but they say black and white. So, but today, U.S. is made of blacks and white, and up to the government. Blacks are participating in the government. Okay, so you can see that was achieved. So this question is a very vital question from a heart that's burning.
The voice keeps speaking. Whatever we speak, every voice that is speaking, it is speaking to the nation, and something is happening. This brings me to remember something that happened historical in the land of Nigeria, where there was a tribe where they killed twins.
Yes.
You always used to tell us where they killed twins. And Mary Slessor,
yes,
she was the one who...
One woman.
Yeah.
Just went to Calabar, the state of Calabar.
Went there and she kept speaking. She kept speaking. One woman made a lot of difference because she kept speaking that killing of twins is wrong. But it was a strong tradition. It was a belief system. And how can you erase a belief system and a tradition?
And they mingle it with worship of idols.
And it is spiritual belief. So how can you really separate that from the mind of people? You know, that was a bondage where when a twin child is born, they pound them and kill them, and they believe it's a sacrifice to the idol, to their gods. So having one voice, and the one voice kept speaking and saying that this is not right, that is not right, and every human has right to live. And as she kept speaking, finally that never existed.
And it's in the law that is nonsense. It should not be done.
It doesn't exist. So it reminds me about the voices that we keep hearing, and whatever we are making, slow and steady, we win the race.
Amen.
We keep making a mark, and every mark that you are making, it will become a huge
I
mark.
agree. I agree 100% to the extent. Yes. Anyway, I like to say this very important word to all the viewers out there, wherever you're listening from. I want to say this to you. Martin Luther King said one time, when good people keep quiet, the danger of bad people cannot be compared with the silence of good people. So don't be silent. When you are silent, the danger that evil people will do is not to be compared with your silence.
In other words, they say silence is consent. So if you are silent, you are in agreement with what molesters are doing. You are a silent molester because you are not speaking.
It is correct. It is correct. There's a caller coming in.
Suicide and success.
Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign. Let's hear your comments, your contribution, or your experience.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, I've been watching the whole session of the Stop Molestation Campaign. I have a question.
Yes.
My question is that, sir, many women, girls, men, boys, they are giving their comments, they are speaking the experience. This happened to me and that happened to me, and this is how I got rescued, and still I'm a victim, and so many things they are telling. And a while ago, ma'am was telling that one voice, that woman, she was speaking over and over and over, and finally stopped. So I have a question to India, and I have a question to the people in India, Karnataka, everywhere. Let they hear my voice. They speak and they support. They tell all big words and attractive words, stand, do, and yes, like that. So if a woman comes and she says, I'm sexually abused, so and so person have abused, and this is what happened. So if she gives a live interview face to face, and she goes and faces the world the next day, and the so-called society who supports and stands, how they are going to see her? Is India wanted to see that woman as their own sister, or the woman who someone was abused by some men? What is the question? This is the question I'm asking.
Thank you very much.
How will the Indians see, and how will the viewer see, and how will the family see? And if at all this a girl or a woman or a man or a boy who shares his or her experience is going to get married, what will the way the spouse see him, he or she?
This is a very hot question.
What assure they are giving? What word they are giving? So-called India, so-called people, stop molestation. Yes, good, I agree. How will you see? Why in the news channel also they cover the woman's face? Because of the society, she's not able to show the face, because the mindset of the people is like this. Can India change?
Yes.
Why can't India change? Why can't women open her face and show clearly, I was abused by 5 men, this is what this? And why not boys, why not real brave men are not coming forward to get married to her? And those people, those are the men who speak. Yes, we have to stand for this, we have to stand like that, and like this, speak attractive so-called words, and you show yourself big. If you are such a man or woman, speak out, comment. I'll be watching this program. I'm waiting for your comment and response. Who are the bold and brave men or women? Send your voice note or give a call. This is a question I'm throwing to India and to all the men and women in India and throughout the world. Answer this question.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
It's a very
Thank you.
valuable
We are
question
giving
that
you a
asked.
hand of applause from the studio. Oh my goodness. Thank you, caller. I will answer your question. This is amazing. This is amazing. These are new types of Indians. These are
Yes.
these are
New
wonderful
generation.
people. New generation. Thank you very much. Now we'll be taking more calls. You can call. The number is right on the screen. You can call. I want to answer this hot question on the table. And the question is, now there are more voice notes coming in, I can see from here today, coming in from someone who's publicizing this campaign. Okay, it's a male, so you make sure that those voice notes are coming today. So you use the sign today to play those voice notes. Don't play the previous days, play today. We're coming for those voice notes if we can take them today. Now listen very well, whole India and wonderful Bangalore City. Listen very well. The caller says, everyone encourages stop molestation, let us stand, let us speak. Who are those men that will come out? I can tell you one already came out. One already said, my friends influenced me to molest girls, and I did not take that influence, and I refuse, and I say I'm going to get married and I'm going to do with my wife what I desire to do with her. I'm not going to test and try with another girl. Amazing man. Amazing Indian man. Though it's 1 of 1,000, but it is there. If one is there, others can be there.
Make a difference.
We can make a difference. So I'm just telling the caller who just called, one called and said his friend was influencing him, but he didn't go that direction. Now the caller says, I love what the caller says. The caller says, you are saying stop molestation. We will say, will you marry that girl that is molested? The caller is asking.
Suicide
Maybe there's a
and
daring
success
man.
campaign in
Please
Bangkok.
pick the call. Hello, this is Stop Molestation. This is call the call. Thank you very much. Now the caller says, who is that daring man?
Yes.
That will marry that girl who comes out and breaks the silence.
Yes.
Now, one thing I want to address here, please give me attention. Don't touch your dial. Don't. Please listen to me. Many have been marrying these people who are molested without knowing they were molested.
Yes. Everyone are molested. There are stories.
They don't agree. They feel we are the bad people. We are coming under the disguise of Stop Molestation. They feel that they are not molested. Someone called. I really do not want to interrogate the call. I said, I am not molested. Everyone was molested. If you are a prince inside the palace in Britain, you are molested. Everyone was somehow molested. Somehow. They are not speaking properly. Now, back to this question, it's a very hot question on the table. It says, which man will marry that girl if the girl comes out? Why are they blurring the faces? India must be free. So long as they keep it as a societal tradition, keep the identity close, because it will spoil their name. They won't find someone to marry. No, in India they should know you, men, women, to stand for the truth and breaking the silence and doing exactly what you ought to do. So this question is posed to everyone, and this makes it very hot in today's campaign, because you've got to come out, you've got to speak, and those who are speaking, you see, we have to break the tradition. She says, but the society does not accept it. Today they say they stand, but when someone comes out and opens up and they show, they don't accept her. Even to the extent that an individual will not like to marry such one who is being accused of whatever confession she has spoken about. What I want to say is, bold women are always beautiful women. Your boldness will make a mark, and finally you will be beautiful to the nation. Yes. Because boldness will do that, and that's the effect of boldness. Yes. Today you may think that if you are bold, people may speak at you. Then continue your boldness. Stand on your conviction. Keep on standing, and finally the nation will salute you. Finally the men will salute you. Yes. Finally they will know who you are. Yes. And if everyone can take this decision, and if you can be bold, women out there and even some men out there, if you are able to be bold, because that's where we are coming up with, even concerning the molestation, we are speaking, be bold, speak it out. Yes. That's where it starts from. In your home something happened, speak it out. Scream, shout, make an issue about it, and let them know that this is not a small thing done in secret. Yes. It's a public shame. So make it a shame just by speaking. If you come out, show your face and speak out, there's no problem. But are you bold to continue to stand? Or when you finish confession and go back and you start feeling and taking people's comment and start feeling bad and feel, now today my identity is lost, I am tarnished and all. If you are not ready to stand, then you better cover your identity and speak it out. Let at least your voice be heard. But if you are a bold woman who will speak, you will be remembered to be beautiful. But my friends out there, my handsome brothers, my handsome brothers in India, you've got to come out from the tradition and boldly accept these women who have been molested, because many people have already married them without knowing. They quiet everything and leave it like that. And if you quiet everything, the cycle of bondage continues. Yes. Are we going to break this bondage, or we're going to sponsor this bondage? It's left for you to answer. Yes. What we're going to do. So handsome India, wake up, carry your body up, and stand for these women. Like the caller said, let us stand for the females. Yes. Stand for the women and say there is no problem. They can break the news, and our next generation will not be put under the cycle of molestation. Quieting them and silencing them. We'll take these few comments from a couple of callers who send their voice notes, and so this is coming from a brother who's part of this campaign. So you go there and you play the very first one. Is 1 minute 15 seconds. It came 7:38 p.m.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's not fair that all men
Audio,
treat
please.
the women same way.
We cannot
Actually,
hear.
Women are not for that. Only for that. Actually, women can do anything in the world, and they are equal to the men in nowadays. Actually, and I prefer that rape case and abusing girls is not fair for. And this time, and now the time has come. Even in families, the abusing started.
Very
and
true.
I say stop it for that everything, and let the women come forward to open up their mind and speak out what they are suffering from, or what is the problem actually happening, so that the others come to know, and they are even it happened to me. Let the others say, so that we can be against them, so that it can get stopped, or at least for some extent it can be stopped. That is my point of view.
Thank you.
Ma'am. Thank you so much for your comment. And you can call on Sunday also.
Sunday, yeah.
Thank you very much. We're playing the next voice.
Sunday evening it is at
We're playing the next voice note.
ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ತಪ್ಪು.
Whatever wrong they have done.
ಹಲೋ ಆ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ಗೊಂದು ಆಸೆ.
They should get the right punishment.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಹಲೋ, ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅದು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದಾಗತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೂ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಉರಿ ನಮ್ಗೂ ಇದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೂ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ. ತಕ್ಕಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಲಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಅದು ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾರ ಮನೆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಾಗ್ಲಿ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಾಗ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ್ಗು ಒಂದೇನೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದು ಆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು.
Family or outside, the punishment must be the same.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now I want to request.
Thank you.
I want to request the next voice note is 45 seconds, and it came 7:38 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, you can start.
Yeah, what do I think is that the minute they do, the girl should have the right to shoot that whoever it is, it is, the girl should have the right to shoot that man. Whatever she has in that hand, she can do that man whatever she does like. So he should be killed. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's it. He should be killed. Not even, they should not think 1 minute also, is this a good or bad? He should be killed at the spot. That is my comment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your valuable.
Oh my goodness. We have another voice now. This is a little longer. It comes 3 minutes 16 seconds, and it arrived 7:38 p.m. Playing, please.
சார் இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து 4 பொண்ணுங்க சார்.
I have 4 girls.
புரியுதுங்களா? எனக்கு 4 பொண்ணுங்க. அதுல 2 எல்லாருமே 3 பேருமே படிச்சுட்டாங்க. ஒருத்தர் இதா இப்ப படிச்சு நிக்கிறேன். அதனால எனக்கு பொண்ணுங்களை பத்தி எனக்கு கூட பயம் தானே. நான் எப்படி எல்லாம் பயந்து வளர்த்துருக்கேன் பசங்களை. அவங்களுக்கு எவ்வளவு பிரச்சனை ஆயிருக்கும்ன்றது. ஆனா அப்பெல்லாம் எங்க பசங்க எல்லாம் எங்கிட்ட எதுவுமே இது வந்து சொல்லல. அப்படி எதனா இருந்தா கூட. ஆனாலும் இப்ப இருக்கிற பசங்களுக்காச்சும் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு சேஃப்டி கொடுங்க, ஒரு தைரியம் கொடுங்க அவங்களுக்கு அப்படின்றது என்னோட இது கூட. எனக்கு இப்ப நினைச்சா கூட எனக்கு ரொம்ப அந்த குழந்தைங்களெல்லாம் நினைச்சு ரொம்ப வேதனை ஆகுது. ரொம்ப கண்ண தண்ணி வருது, எனக்கு ரொம்ப வேதனை ஆகுது. சின்ன குழந்தைங்க, அந்த குழந்தைங்களெல்லாம் இவ்வளவு சித்திரிச்சு கொடுக்குறாங்களா அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப வேதனையா இருக்கு. எதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கும் பிள்ளைங்க இருக்கிறாங்க, அவங்களும் ஒரு கூட பிறந்தவங்களா இருப்பாங்க, அக்கா தங்கச்சி அம்மா எல்லாரும் தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. அந்த குழந்தைங்க எதுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு அவ்வளவு ஒரு இது எரித்தானம் வருதுன்னு எனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே புரியல. அந்த காலத்துல அப்படி இருந்துச்சா இல்ல இப்பதான் அப்படி புதுசா இதான்னு தெரியல. ஆனா அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் போதெல்லாம் அந்த காலத்துல எல்லாம் எங்களுக்கு அதெல்லாம் தெரியவே இல்ல. நல்லா சொன்ன மாதிரி எங்க பசங்களும் நாங்க நல்லாதான் ஸ்கூலுக்கு அனுப்பணும், நல்லாதான் போனாங்க வந்தாங்க. பக்கத்துல கூட எல்லாம் நல்லாதான் இருந்தாங்க. யாரும் எந்த மாதிரி பிரச்சனை இல்லை. அப்படி இருந்தா குழந்தைங்க வந்து சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, இங்க நோதாங்க நோலிட்டிக்கு இருந்தாங்க அப்படி தட்டாங்க அப்படி ஏதாச்சும் டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருந்தா அவங்க சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க பசங்க.
இல்ல இப்பதான் இதாவதுன்னு என்னன்னு தெரியல. ஆனா அந்த குழந்தைங்களை ரொம்ப கொடுமை பண்றாங்கல்ல, ரொம்ப வேதனையா இருக்கு சார், ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு எங்களுக்கெல்லாம். நிஜமா என்னெல்லாம் கூப்பிட்டீங்களா கூட நான் கூட வந்து பேசுவேன். நான் எனக்கு நானும் ஒரு தாய் தானே, ஒரு குழந்தை அந்த மாதிரி அந்த போட்டோங்கெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது ரொம்ப வேதனையாவது குழந்தைங்க. நான் அந்த போட்டோங்கெல்லாம் பாக்குறதுல அந்த மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் காமிக்காத மாதிரி எனக்கு ரொம்ப கொடுமையா இருக்குது அதெல்லாம் பாக்குறதுக்கு. ஆனா எங்க பசங்க கூட எல்லாருமே அதான் சொல்லுவாங்க, எப்படிமா இதெல்லாம் இப்படி நடக்கும் அப்படின்னுட்டு. அதுபோல எதுக்கு இவங்க எல்லாம் பண்றாங்கன்னே தெரியல. ஒன்னே ஒன்று சொல்லுங்க சார், கார்ல கேட்டுச்சா உடனே தூக்குல போடுங்க, வேற எதுவுமே தேவையில்லை. ஆனா விசாரிக்காம செய்யக்கூடாது, விசாரிக்கணும். இவங்கதான் செஞ்சாங்க, இவங்கதான் இப்படிதான் பண்ணாங்கன்னா உடனே தூக்கு, வேற எந்த தண்டனையும் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க கூடாது. போறாங்க வந்துடுறாங்க வெளியே, உள்ள போறாங்க 7 வருஷம் எடுத்து ஆமான்னு உள்ள இருக்கிறான். அது கூட 7 வருஷம் உள்ள போறானா வெளியே இருக்கிறானா தெரியல. இவ்வளவு கேஸுங்களுக்கு காதுல போடுறாங்க. ஆனா அவங்க யாருமே எல்லாம் வெளியதான் இருக்கிறாங்க. அவங்க வெளியே இருக்குன்னா ஜாலியா தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. அதனால அவங்க காதுல கேட்டுமே ஃபுல்லா விவரமா ஒரு மாசத்துலயே அவங்களுக்கு தூக்கு தண்டனை கொடுக்கும். ரொம்ப நல்லது. இல்லன்னா யாருன்னா பொதுமக்கள் கிட்ட கொடுத்தா கூட அடிச்சு சாவடிக்கணும். ஒரு 4 பேருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி பண்ண 5வது பசங்க பயப்படுவாங்க. ஒரு பையனோ ஒரு ஆம்பளையோ ஒரு பெரியவங்களோ எப்படியோ, ஆனா அவங்களுக்கு அந்த பயம் இருக்கும். நமக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி இருக்குது, இல்ல இப்படி செய்யக்கூடாதுன்ற பயம் தான் இருக்கும். எந்த தண்டனையும் அவங்க கொடுக்கறது வேஸ்ட் தான். காசு கட்டிடுறாங்க, இல்லைன்னா சொத்து வீட்டு கொடுத்துட்டு கூட போயிடுறாங்க. பெற்றவங்க ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கும் பெற்றுக்கிறாங்க, அவங்க பையன் நம்ம பிள்ளைய அவன் விடனாலும் அவங்க எப்படியே கட்டிட்டுன்னு வந்துடுறாங்க. அது செய்யவே கூடாது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காசுல கேட்டோம்னா விசாரி, நான் கிளீனா அவங்களுக்கு அப்புறமா எப்படி இது பண்ணாங்கன்னு கேட்டு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். உடனே அவங்களுக்கு இது பண்ணி விட்டணும், தூக்கு மாட்டி விட்டணும் சார். அதுதான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது. உண்மையான தண்டனைனா அவங்களுக்கு அதை தான் கொடுக்கணும்ன்றது என்னுடைய இது. உண்மையாவே
Anyway, thank you very much. You see, there is a process, there's a procedure in which to handle such. So you cannot boycott or overrule or undermine.
Yeah, government has.
There's a process. So even though it's very,
justice must be given on time.
Yes, even though it's very, very inhumane and it's so. I don't. You know, to express it, it's so much anger. You know, but you've got to go in the same way. Now, I still have one more here that arrived 7:38 p.m. also, but this one is 2 minutes 21 seconds. Please play. Yeah, you go to the next one. This is there's one that just arrived 7:56 p.m. 32 seconds. I want you to play 32 seconds that arrived 76 p.m. Playing, please.
My voice in Raise the Voice for Asifa. My suggestion as a parent to everyone is that please teach your children's discipline first, then education. It is not necessary to change the whole country. At least try to change your own family so we can stop another girl being affected just like Asifa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're talking about in the family first. We have to do that in the family.
Discipline the children.
Yeah, more than education, you've got to discipline your children. I really do not know how to connect this with what happened to Asifa. And for your information, this is not just a campaign for Asifa. Asifa's story is a projection, it's a projector, it's an inspiration that really is behind
to stop any kind of molestation whatsoever.
So now we have come to the brim of experience where we want to speak out. We're breaking out the silence. So this campaign is not for Asifa, but it's a kind of watch point, a reference point.
It's a need of the hour.
Yes, a reference point why we'll have to talk about Asifa. Thank you all the callers and all the participants who participated on today's Stop Molestation campaign. We are already arriving at the close, and we have the outstanding comments, and one of it, who is a man in India that will accept people who are already being molested, who stepped out and disclosed their molesters without concealing their identity? Who is a man in India that will accept such a beautiful woman to be their wife or to be their friend, etc., not continuing molestation? It's left for us handsome to answer that big challenge. More than 1 million dollar question. It's left for all the handsomes in India to answer that, to give an answer to that we will stand with that woman.
Yes.
We will stand with that community. We don't care what people say about them. We will stand. I will attend her marriage. Even I'm not her brother, I'm not her sister, I will attend her marriage. I will even support her marriage with this. If we stand out like that, we'll make the difference. And the next generation will be so glad they have uncles and aunties and friends and father and mother like us. Let's make the difference. The number is on the screen. You can send voice notes. Yes, you can send voice note. If we don't address the voice note in this particular Stop Molestation campaign, we'll do that next Sunday.
Yeah.
Next Sunday is so important for Karnataka. The entire Karnataka will come out and speak online. You don't need to come out of your house. The internet connection and the technology now is giving us so easy way we can share and make our voice heard. So entire Karnataka, from the north, south, east and west of the great state of Karnataka, let your voice be heard. Farmers, engineers, you know, software engineers, whatever you call, doctors. We had a doctor calling today.
Yes.
Wherever you are, let your voice be heard. And next Sunday, that's next Sunday.
Yes.
That's Karnataka Stop Molestation campaign. Thank you for participating for this particular second webinar of Stop Molestation by Anti-Suicide and Success Campaign. We would see you on Sunday evening, next Sunday evening, with Karnataka Stop Molestation. Thank you very much.
Very much.
See you in our next webinar online.